Hi everyone, my name is Anna. I am a certified nutritionist and founder of Omni Nutritions. Now I finally got a proper intro and a mic hooked up, so hopefully you can hear me better and this video is not as cringy as my first video. So today I want to talk about the number one question that I've got since I've come out as a nutritionist, and that is, Anna, I am eating at a calorie deficit, but why am I not losing weight? Now this sounds really frustrating, and it is frustrating, and I've been there personally. You're eating so little and you're not losing the weight that you're expecting to lose, and you're not sure what you should do, and you're not sure what you're doing wrong. So I'm here to tackle this question today, and I'm going to tell you the 5 reasons why you are not losing weight even if you're eating at a calorie deficit. Now before I even go into the 5 reasons, let me first applaud you if you have this question in your head, because you got the basics right. In order to lose weight, you need to be eating at a calorie deficit and not some fat diets that have a magic combination of certain specific foods. No, you just need to be at a calorie deficit over time for you to drop your weight. Now, I think there could be 5 main reasons why the majority of people are eating at calorie deficit yet not losing weight. Now, the first reason is tracking error. How do you know you're in a calorie deficit? Because you think that your calories in is lower than your calories out, and hence the deficit. But how are you tracking these numbers? Let's talk about calories in first. Now, most people will track their calorie consumption through an app like MyFitnessPal or other similar apps. The problem with tracking on apps is that you are susceptible to so many tracking errors. Now, just to name a few of the tracking errors, your portion size could be inaccurate, the database could be inaccurate, the foods from different sources could have different nutritional values, and lastly, you might forget a lot of the minor things like your oil and condiments. Now, let me walk through in more details. First one, portion size. If you had a berry granola yogurt bowl for breakfast and you've put in a handful of blueberries, do you know how many grams or cups that would be, and what would be the amount that you enter on your app? If you've entered in a very inaccurate estimation, then obviously the output, which is the calories, will be very inaccurate as well. Now, the second error comes in the database itself. Now, trust me or not, if you go on to MyFitnessPal and search up chicken breast, you will find hundreds of options to select from. Which one would you actually choose? Because those numbers can differ for up to 10-20%. Now, if you go across different databases and look it up on Google, you will find even greater variance of different chicken breast calories, protein, and whatnot. Now, that brings me to the third error, which is the food itself. For proteins, the calorie content would differ if that animal itself has a different fat or muscle content. For vegetables, the nutrient content will be highly dependent on the soil in which it grows. So you might have heard of cases where a population has a countrywide nutrient deficit because their soil is lacking a certain type of nutrients. So if they only consume locally grown vegetables, then they are not going to get that specific nutrient. Now, the last error is that you are forgetting your oils and condiments and sauces. And this is by far the biggest mistake I see people. You enter in your 200 grams of chicken breast, you enter in your, 1 medium head of broccoli, but hey, you forgot that tablespoon of oil that you've put on the chicken. And 1 tablespoon of oil is 120 calories, believe it or not. So if you have consistently forgotten the 1 spoon of oil or that 2 squirts of hot sauce on your food, then you are in big trouble in the long term, because you thought you're in a calorie deficit, but you're not really in a calorie deficit, and you are struggling so much, and we don't want that, and I don't want that for you. So that sums up the calories in. For calories out, I think that tracking error is less because fitness watches are such a big thing. If you have a Fitbit, Apple Watch, or any kind of fitness watch that measures your heart rate, I would say that your calories out measurement is pretty accurate. So you can rely on that to tell you what your energy expenditure is day to day, and also aim to get that number higher if you want to lose weight faster. That is reason number 1. So let's move on to reason number 2, which is you are not giving it enough time. 1 pound of fat is 3,500 calories, and if you are, let's say, eating at a calorie deficit of 250 a day, it will take you 14 full days to burn 1 pound of fat. So if you have been eating at a slight calorie deficit for just a few days and you expect to drop a few pounds, that is just unrealistic expectations, and you really want to think about balancing your lifestyle versus how fast you want to progress in terms of weight loss. Now, the third reason is that you are eating junk. So you can tell me that you've eliminated all the tracking error and you've given it enough time, but you are still not seeing results because you are not choosing the right foods to nourish your body. You can be at a calorie deficit eating ice cream and chips. No one's gonna stop you, but you won't see results in the long term because your body is not getting all the nutrients that it needs. Now, if you are only consuming a lot of processed food and junk foods, you're likely to be lacking in a lot of vitamins and minerals. And these micronutrients are essential to a lot of body functions, including your energy metabolism. Now, what I would recommend is that you should have 80% of your calorie consumed from whole foods. So these are your real whole protein, vegetables, and carbohydrates. And this will make sure that you have good sources of fiber, minerals, vitamins that are essential for your body to function properly. Now, the fourth reason is you are eating too little. Now, you could be doing great with all the above 3 points that we've talked about, but if you are eating too little, then here's what's gonna happen. Now, our calories out and calories in needs to stay at a constant deficit for you to lose weight over time. What happens when your calories in is too low is that your calories out will also go lower because your body's basal metabolic rate is gonna drop to compensate for the less calories intake. Now, you might also hear people say that you've destroyed your metabolism, and that is the exact concept. So a lot of people who are eating at an extreme calorie deficit, calories out will go lower and they don't go back up that easily. So what happens is you'll have one day that you ate slightly more and this is going to be lower and you're actually having a surplus. So you are undoing all the deficit and hard work that you have done, and that is just not fun. So how do you make sure that your metabolism doesn't drop and your calories out can stay as high as possible during your weight loss process? Now, you need to make sure that your calories in is at least at your BMR, or your basal metabolic rate. And that would just be the minimum amount of calorie that your body will need per day to function all of your internal organs, blood circulation, all of that. Your body also burns calories when you are eating foods, and that is called the thermogenic effect of foods. So if you're eating at an extremely low calorie, then you will also be using less energy to consume these foods, which lowers your total calorie out. The fifth reason why you are not losing weight is because you are not taking care of things outside of food. You are so laser focused on consuming the exact calories, exact food items, that you are not really taking care of your other health, your mental health, your stress level. Are you sleeping enough? Are you drinking enough water? Now, all of these are really important for weight loss because your well-being and holistic health is going to greatly affect your hormone levels. I won't go into too much detail in this video because hormone is a whole other topic by itself. The key takeaway is that you need to take care of your holistic health so you can have healthy hormone levels that will aid you in weight loss instead of preventing you from weight loss. If you haven't already, check out my website omni-nutritions.com. You will find all of my recent updates, resources, and my recent blog post, which includes this post that explains all of the 5 reasons why you're not losing weight on a calorie deficit. In addition, I have included links and references, so be sure to check it out so you can calculate your total daily energy expenditure. Here are all my social links. You can follow me, and I would love to hear from you what you think about this video and any other health, nutrition related topics you'd like me to cover in future videos. Thank you so much for watching. All links will be in the description box below, and I will see you next time.